time, right? I'm gonna make this quick. I ain't gonna make it longer than maybe 20 or 30 minutes because there's not much to talk about. But in upstate New York, you had a man that was actually a streamer like the most of us. He wasn't a YouTuber. He was a Twitch guy. And this guy went as far as to create, if you want to say neo-Nazi propaganda or whatever the case may be. And he distributed it online. He used Twitch to do it. He used, I'm assuming, YouTube and a couple other outlets. Well, people had preordained knew that this guy was going to do this attack. In fact, they had talked about it in different circles and things like that, of course, and in their circles of far right-wingers, separatists, etc. And so this guy calculatedly, 18 years old, I want to underline 18 years old, he calculated going up into this grocery store, I'm assuming this was the place was, some type of shopping place, whatever the case may be. And he just started firing a right. Every last person that he shot was African American, apparently. 11 of the victims of the 13 that were shot, 3 injured. I don't know the severity of their injuries, so I can't comment on that. But yeah, please hit the like button to show some support. If you see anything up for these people and their families or whatever, as far as a way of donations or PayPal or whatever the case may be, make sure you donate to them. What disturbed me was, as many of y'all know, for the past couple days now, since Friday, I've been celebrating my birthday. My birthday every 7 years is on Mother's Day. I was born on Mother's Day. And so this happened on my birthday. And there's mixed reactions, because that's what I wanted to see. As many of y'all know, I follow a lot of far right wingers. Do not get that confused with the general ideals of whites in general, because I don't believe that to be so. I have way too many white people that I grew up with, especially Italians and Greeks, which I mention all the time on here. I'm very close with Italian people, as you know. It's crazy to me because this guy preordained and did this, and he talked about it for months, right? He talked about it. He had to talk about it for months. But we find in all things sequentially, in all these mass shootings that happen like this, whether it's a racist or sexist, like what happened in Atlanta, when you find out all the variables within it, right, you'll notice that the temperature and the conversation has been going for months. And as easy as it is for us as YouTubers to get blocked, putting up something like, I got blocked for putting up a video about the baby when he got a fight at the bowling alley there with Danny Lee's brother. They blocked me for that. But you won't block these guys. And in fact, I want to add something on to the conversation. Today, the United States, well, tomorrow, Biden and his administration, which if many of y'all were with me the other night, I was up in front of Trump Tower, and I ripped a hole in his ass. Now, I'm no Trump supporter by any means. Fuck him, too. I said that in front of Trump Tower. And that wasn't my first time being up there. I used to live in the neighborhood, so very well so I can. I said that in front of about 6, 7 cops with AR-15s and everything else, and they knew everything I was saying was adamant the truth. I don't come from poor people. I don't come from people that don't have reach either. Shout out to Doggy Diamonds, many others that know me and know the background I come from with Bad Boy. You know, I'm not from no poor guys. Whether you're rich or whether you're poor, is the reason I'm using this. You could have fell victim to that shooting. That's the point. Whether you're rich or you're poor, you could have fell victim to that shooting. And I remember one time in this country, we've always had periods in this country where a different ethnic group has been preyed upon, or whatever the case may be, because they're new coming to the United States, or they don't like their racial background or cultural background for their country. And it leads to different actions happening. This happened with the Israelis. This happened in the Middle East multiple times. This has happened all across the world, Africa, you name it. But here in the United States, our form of domestic terrorism is taking a new plateau. You ain't seen a plateau like this in the 60s, and I want to let y'all aware of this, people. Be aware of this, because 2 of the people that he shot were white. I think 2 of the people that he shot that were white probably were staff or trying to intervene in the catastrophe and try to stop this wacko from shooting up a freaking grocery store. These guys are cowards. You shoot up places where there's people of innocence. Like, who goes to a grocery store? The gangsters go to a gangster. Let me tell you something. The gangster orders out. On the ordinary mother, he goes to the grocery store. Gangsters, they order out. Guys that are making millions of dollars, they order out. Or they have a chef. Now, shot innocent people up in there. Some of the victims were 80s, in the 80s. This one lady, I think she was 68. Sold enough to be my grandmother, the old black lady. Another woman, 86. She was planning on retiring from what she was working at. Been working there for years. You'll see it. So altogether, this wacko, like I said, I ain't gonna make this long because when I sit here this long, but his name is in the title. Make no mistake about it. I appreciate y'all the like button on that too. But make sure you spread his name around. Make sure we want you at Revolt TV. Uda Lunga said. Well, y'all make sure y'all give me a Revolt TV. Shout out to I'll talk about that at the end. But yeah, I could do that. The point I'm getting at is like this, man. This cow that did this, they went up there and shot all those innocent black people. I want to underline black people because I don't know why more of y'all talking about this. Y'all sitting around talking about what Kim Kardashian doing and how Pete got the next set of tattoos, which is, you know, Peter get his justice sooner or later. You don't put nobody's kid's name on your neck. But that's another story. My point is, all this celebrity stuff that y'all talking about, I'm telling you, a vlogger. And this for you doggy diamonds, I need to see about this tonight. You and Kareem really need to be on this, break this down. I need to see the Star Report on it. I need to see definitely Choke No Joke. Shout out Rockefeller Records. That's my man right there. Choke had me when I was down. I always appreciate that for giving me that little bit of money. So, shout out to Choke No Joke. Like, man, listen. Sooner or later, you're going to have a copycat. That's the point I'm getting at here, right? So you're going to have a copycat and you're going to have doppelgangers. And these motherfuckers are going to do this, and they're going to say they're going to do it on a part of statehood. They're going to do it on a part of religion. They're going to do it on a part of whatever the case may be. Okay. But I got to say something because I know some of y'all youngins out there, y'all ain't going to say nothing. Y'all going to talk about the latest rapper or talk about somebody in a foreign country that you're not even at right now. I'm talking about what's happening right here in the United States, and it's happening in Buffalo, New York. A little small town. Now, I lived on the shoreline in Connecticut. God knows, an eon. Right on the sea. The name of the town was the Whaling City. All right? That gives you any indication. The Amistad came into our city. The Amistad ship. I told you a whole story about it. I've done a video down there about it, everything else, right? I know small town, towny mentality because there's a whole bunch of small towns that were around me. So I know a townie mentality. Townies, they always feel like they're super whole, they're top of the world, you get me? Because they don't have any competition. It's like being a big fish in a small pond. They don't have that much competition. So this is generally the mentality of a lot of townies, especially you get the separatist type. This white guy that did this, he had been streaming that he was going to do stuff like this on Twitch. He had put out a freaking documentary. And I'm harmed and I'm hurt because of so much disconcernment of people want to separate and say, no, it wasn't racial, it was directly racial. That could have been my grandmother. That could have been your aunt. That could have been one of your loved ones. You get me? So I don't think it's too far-fetched to sit here and say, you need to be alert. And I'm going to tell you what you need to be alert about. I'm not going to have a grieving council with you. I don't like doing, always me. That's terrible. Yeah. No, what I'm telling you is, some of you punk-ass men, and I'm saying it the way it is, and I know a lot of people are like, oh, you're a little, da-da-da. Y'all seen what I can do. I have to prove myself. I prove myself. I'm a grown fucking guy now. What I'm saying to you is this. All this pandering towards certain groups to try to fit in, it's going to work against you. It's going to work against you. What you got to start doing is having your fucking chin up a little bit more and stop arguing with each other. You're so quick to ready to argue with your own, but you're never ready to argue with the people you should generally be arguing with. The people you say oppress you. The people you say oppress you, or anybody that shows any type of aggression towards you for you based off color, or you ascended to be color, you need to check that. You need to check that. Because if you don't, the next shooting, just like you saw the shooting that happened in North Carolina, y'all forgot that? Remember the guy, Kyle Rittenhouse, I think that's his name? Y'all ain't go after him. Y'all ain't go after the one that sold his gun, Zimmerman, that he shot Trayvon Martin with. Y'all ain't go after him. So that's my point. And I say this shit online. I've been saying it for months, if not years now, here on YouTube. So I'm just saying to you, And I'm just suggesting the part that as men, and I've said this before, I say this and I'll say it again, and I'm gonna end this. As guys, you got to start changing your narrative. Your narrative's got to be something totally different, because what's going to happen is the same woes and L's that you got, the kids are going to inherit, and it's going to be worse. Now you're going to have extremists around them. We're going back to the days when you had Wahoos and loose ends down in in Miami, Alabama, all these places. We don't like them because they're Jewish. He like Jewish people. He didn't like black people. I guess black people were more aptly in the area for him. But he didn't like anybody. He probably didn't like himself, so who cares? The hell with him. He's going to get his. Only thing I'm saying is, and I hope they fry him. I honestly, you know what? If it wasn't any time in this era, if you ever hear me say this, I'm for that penalty. You know what I mean? Fuck him. Screw that guy. Screw that guy. I don't want you to take this and run with the story, guys. And this is what I'm saying. Especially you older vloggers, and this is why I'm saying I hope Doggy Diamonds get on this. I hope that Star Report. I definitely know Corey gonna get on this. Shout out Corey Holcomb 5150. I know Zoe Williams gonna be on this. Shout out to the Zoe What Show. Y'all see me share them all the time, so it's no surprise that I mention these people. But I hope they're the main ones in it. But don't paint the narrative when you tell the story. Yeah, he was an 18-year-old boy, Twitcher. And hey, what's up, Annette? I was just talking about you too. Annette says, they said this is an 18-year-old boy was under the watch in high school, but didn't go into detail of that. I just said that. He had been doing this for months on Twitch. And that's one of the reasons I don't have a Twitch account, because Twitch has so much, like, you either got three sides of the coin. You got extremists from other countries that believe that, all Muslims should die. Then you got other people that believe all Punjabi should die. Then you got guys that believe all the Japanese should die. Then you got people that everybody's on Twitch. Twitch is a real poisonous place. Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, kind of. But not like Twitch and Twitter. You can do anything on Twitch and Twitter. There's little porn on Twitter. Oh, the other one's Reddit. You know what I mean? So yeah, you're definitely right about that. Uda Luga says, we want you at Revolt TV. Everybody know how to get in touch with me. Tell Nick get in touch with me. Shout out to Sarat. Everybody know how to get in touch with me. I'm not hard. I'm just in the suburbs now. I ain't far away. I'm not that far away from New York, so I'm not hard to get in touch with. Y'all know my number. You know the emails in the description box, all that. So yeah, reach out to me if that's the truth. Everybody follow me, and I love that. You know what I'm saying? I heard so many suggestions. People have editing jobs, everything. I appreciate all y'all for that, for real. That was a Jeep with an American flag on it. I had a conversation with a gentleman when I was out here smoking a cigarette. He was Polish. And he thought that I was, yes, I said he was Polish. I knew this because he had told me he was Polish. I thought he was Albanian. And so the accent is similar. It's all Slavic. So I was sitting there having this conversation when the man actually educated me, but we linked our stories. And he was talking about Napoleon when he left Peter Toussaint's overthrow over in Haiti. And he left and went to Cuba with his soldiers. A lot of people don't know the story. He has a house in Cuba that's a touring attraction. It's got Napoleon on the wall, everything like that. Whatever. My dad had pictures of the shit. My point I'm getting at is this, though. That man, he wholeheartedly had that conversation with him. So I don't want you to take the narrative and run it, because I know a lot of older bloggers have to do that for the cash apps and all that. Don't take the story and run with it and be like, oh no, Lord, we at war, what we gonna do? What's we gonna do? And take us back, 200, 400 fucking years and we picking berries and eating chicken scraps. I'm saying take a narrative with it and tell these guys what they need to do. A lot of you guys are 35, 40, and older than us. And to be quite honest with you, you guys ain't contributing like the guys did when they was our time. Those guys, they were different. Maybe it's a different beat, different drum, different atmosphere at the time. This could be a narrative of different things, married to different things. But you got to teach these guys something. So don't take the story tonight about this tragedy that happened and take it as an opportunity to grieve, take it as an opportunity to be boring and be like, oh, and see, this was a conspiracy theory. The government sent them. Don't do all that. Tell these guys what they need to do to prepare their freaking self. What's going on, y'all? Hey, babe, please pray for my city. We all know somebody that knows somebody, and it was just too quiet today. Please pray for us, and we thank you for doing this. Thank you, Sheila Eccles, no doubt. Nah, I always do stuff like this. Ain't that right, Sheila? Ain't that right? I always do stuff like this. The primary of my channel about superstars and all that. That's why I come on. But at the same time, I'll make sure I do something because there's kids out here that's younger than me now, and I see moves they make, and I see how they move or whatever. And you have to say something. You have to say something. If you don't say something, what happens eventually is you keep on repeating the same shit. That's why if you listen to your granddaddy, if you listen to your grandmother, if you listen to your mother, they pretty much got the same woes you talking about right now, to some degree or another. Some degree or another. And poor whites do too. So it's an interesting story. Screw this kid. I'm not going to say his name on my live, but I will say this. He drove 200 miles. Sheila said he drove 200 miles just to do this in our city. Hold on one second, Sheila. I got a car going by me. You actually live in Buffalo, huh? My man's lives in Syracuse, where this shooting happened. He's not from Buffalo, though. They're just mentioning it to Buffalo because the town he's from. That's why I mentioned counties, because he's from a small little town. They don't even have like 100,000 cap on their population. Wahoo that was on Twitch in a small town talking loosely. The school said he should have been investigated and nothing happened, and he was allowed to shoot 13 people. I keep seeing more and more. So when we talk about the regular gangsters that are out here on the corner, and we talk about some kid that's, excuse me guys, or talk about some kid that's selling crack or something like that, whatever you want to give it 5,000 years, or we talk about some shooting that happens most of the time between those two guys in whatever city. Miami, I definitely can say. Connecticut, not as much, but New York and Jersey, definitely the violence. It's from kids. It's from parents, kids or parents that were young kids themselves when they had kids. Black ones, white ones. Yeah, white ones too. 16 and pregnant. Remember that? It ran for 4 seasons. It's all of them, you know? They're all wahoos. So this kid that did this was 18 years old, and I'm trying to tell you, if I looked at, I guarantee if you look at the age of his parents or something like that, or even the demographic where he lived in, you would see a lot of inconsistencies, you know? So it's unfortunate, but that's the truth. I say this, and I ended at this, guys. I know people inside probably tired of hearing me, don't hear their music. Start teaching these boys something. Start teaching these boys something. They got to lie and y'all fix your sneakers. We had dudes for that when I was growing up. My man Early, he used to do that for us, you know? Yo, this how you match this, how you wear this. You know what I'm saying? That was my man's, you know? So, RIP to him. But that cycle is done, you know? You guys got to put something more in pack. So at least I sit on here, I talk about stocks, I talk about helping people. Y'all should be doing the same. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I will talk to y'all later. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Hit the Cash App, $STRINGERBELL80. I'm going to be setting up a Zelle, too, because I guess I ain't got Cash App, so I'll send up a Zelle, too. Share the story. I'll talk to y'all later. Like the post.